Who is Muammar Gaddafi, and why did Hillary Clinton and the world bankers want him dead? This is the true story behind Gaddafi, the man who refused to kneel to the West and dared to make Africa rich. In 1969, at the age of 27, Gaddafi led a bloodless coup against the then Western-backed king who had sold out Libya's oil to Western-backed companies like Exxon and BP. Gaddafi's first move was to nationalize the oil, taking the power away from these Western companies and putting it in the hands of the Libyan people. But he did so much more than just that. Gaddafi made Libya the richest country in all of Africa, giving free electricity for all, zero-interest loans, free healthcare, free education, and if they didn't provide the education you were looking for, they would pay for you to go internationally. They gave $60,000 for newlyweds to start their life. And if you wanted to farm, they gave you free land, seeds, livestock, and housing. Gaddafi was turning the Sahara green with his great man-made river that was touted as the 8th wonder of the world. But his vision was even grander than just Libya. He looked to unite 14 different African nations that were still paying colonial tax to France. He looked at the petrodollar system, which was controlled by the United States to force global oil sales in US dollars to prop up American power. He decided Africa would have its own gold-backed currency. He quietly moved 143 tons of gold to a secret vault near the southern border. He was ready to set Africa free from the world bankers and from the Western nations. 5 months later, Hillary Clinton gets an email in her private inbox. French intelligence is in full panic because Gaddafi's gold-backed currency would mean the end of Western domination over Africa. The #1 objective of the West after this? To stop Gaddafi's gold-backed currency. And just 2 weeks later, the bombs start falling. The reason for war, they claimed, was for humanitarian purposes because Gaddafi's forces were committing genocide on his own people. The reality? The CIA infiltrated these countries, forced protests, and people started to say, I want a democracy, not a dictatorship. Gaddafi's response?
I hand-carried a letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to...
Why?
He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically. He wanted to base it on the gold standard.
If the Western world ever saw how great a nation Libya had become, then all of the people of the West would start to hold their politicians accountable in raising the living standards in those countries, citing, if Africa could do it, why can't we? In 2008, Gaddafi called out the US for bombing Iraq, citing there was WMDs there, even though none were found. As of 2025, Libya remains unstable. They even sell human slaves on the open market. So you tell me, was Libya better off under the leadership of Gaddafi, or was it better off with the West pushing for democracy? Comment truth below if you want to see the full video on my YouTube channel where Gaddafi calls out Western powers and calls out Israel for assassinating JFK.